ahead and get started. I know some of you are still eating. We're going to start with softball with Coach Ashlyn R., followed by Buccanettes, Miss Lori Schilling, cheer, Abby Conroy, and then lastly, football with Banquetmp4. Girls, if y'all want to go ahead and come up here. Okay, good evening, everyone. I may be a bit biased, but I do feel that softball is the best sport here. I have a ton of gratitude for being given this opportunity to brag on my girls for just a few minutes. There's nothing I enjoy more than being able to tell people how excited I am for the future. If we are leaving the world in the hands of these girls, I will have no worries. They are dedicated to their craft and determined to be the best, no matter the circumstances. They understand the importance of being a good human over being a good player, and they strive to set the example of the standards. They look failure in the face and smile, simply because they know they are prepared for the challenge. They work harder than most people, much less people their age. Remember, they are in high school. I feel nothing but gratitude that I get to teach them about softball, as they remind me daily it is about much more than a yellow ball on a bat. One of my favorite quotes reads, "Are you willing to sprint if the distance is unknown?" It is easy to automatically say yes, because that is what we would all like to believe. But that is much more difficult when you have to put your money where your mouth is. They have come a long way in just a year, and the answer today to that question is yes. Yes, they would sprint when the distance is unknown. They have learned that true strength is found when your tank is empty and you cannot go on, but you look at your teammates who feel the same way and collectively agree that no matter how bad it hurts, you will finish. Winners win. To start with our class, Addison Swallow. It drives Addie crazy when I use her full name. It has become a running joke because when I yell, she's learned to tune me out. I started using her full name to get her attention when I got mad. Did not work. Addie is one of the funniest kids I have ever met. And my favorite part of practice is getting to hit fungo because you get to stand by Addie when you're tall. I do not even think she realized how much she could love softball. Addie, I'm so proud of how far you have come. It's not often the slowest kid on the team hits the lead spot. Allie Rose. Allie Rose and I have a love-hate relationship. I love making her run and she hates to run. Allie Rose was throwing some curveballs this season. I put her in a few positions that she has never been in. She took every one of them, mostly without complaining, in stride and excelled. It just so happens that she only ever drops the ball when I'm looking. Allie, you have surprised everyone with how you've done this season. Continue to prove to yourself that you can, because we all already believe in you. Blair. Blair has come a long way with me. Our two catchers are the funniest people on the team. Blair happens to be one of them. Trying to get Blair to do something is like trying to wrestle a nest of bees with honey all over your body. Painful. In all seriousness, Blair is one of those players that make you think of yourself and remember why you wanted to do this in the first place. As much as I could pick with her, Blair, I'm proud of the way you have stepped up into a role you clearly have a passion for. You hear people all the time say they've got it, and Blair hasn't. Haley. Funny story about Haley. She watched me play a little bit whenever I played. She tried out this past year and did not make the team. I heard about it and I wanted her to play on my team. I texted her and Dana, making sure they knew it. A A couple days later, I hear Haley's not going to play this year. So I call her out of lunch and go on this 12-minute spiel about how she wants to play for me, she just doesn't know it yet. I was giving her the rundown on confidence and that this is something she's going to regret not doing. About 12 and a half minutes in, when I finally felt I was convincing enough, she tells me she had already talked to Nana and she planned to play the whole time. Haley, thank you for trusting me without even knowing me yet. Isabel. Isabel is one of those players that you can throw anywhere on the field and she is going to shine. The fact that I can count on her for anything makes all of her smart remarks totally worth it. She calls it witty, I call it other things. I have seen this kid be put in situations that are impossible to succeed in, and she succeeds. It's quite impressive. Isabel, thank you for being the absolute best you could be, no matter the situation. Jaylee. I'm going to attempt to keep this short and to the point. Anybody who knows Jay knows exactly how stubborn she is. The worst of her mother and father combined. She is so competitive, losing makes her angry. I've come to know the inside of Jay's hard head really well. She is one of my favorite humans. Jaylee is the heartbeat of this team. She's also one of my favorite ones to yell at right behind her sister. Fun fact about Jay, she got nailed in the head with a softball 2 days before the state championship game and played lights out. She keeps me on my toes. Jay, thank you for learning with me and giving me grace. Chloe. I want to tell a story about Chloe that's going to embarrass her. Chloe is my left fielder. Our outfield is locked down. You are hard pressed to get a ball past those three. I sat Chloe for a couple of games at the beginning of the season. She patiently waited for her turn again. She asked me to do anything, pinch run, pinch hit, anything she could to get in the game. Finally, I put her back in, and I screwed up and ended up having to take her back out. She didn't even bat an eye. Kept working, kept getting better. Next game, I put her back in, and she never looked back. Chloe, I'm so proud of the confidence you are building. Do not ever forget that you really are as good as you think you are. Kylie Ray. Kyrie is one of the most emotional players on the team. She goes through the highs and lows of softball. Kylie is one of the most even-keel people you will ever meet. It does not matter if she goes 4 for 4 or over 12. It's why I love to yell at her. She barely blinks, much less cares if I don't. One day at practice, she dropped one more ball that I could take. I started hollering about how she has one job and that's to catch the ball. She looked me dead in the face and said, "It hit my nail." Do not let her fool you. She cares way more than she lets on. Kylie, I'm proud of you for stepping up when no one but us thought you could. Michaela. I remember the first practice Hollywood came back to after her wreck. I was roping fly balls over her head left and right. They were impossible to catch. We did that over and over and over until finally I got tired. She was crying, rightfully so. I remember telling her not to forget this feeling because a couple weeks ago we were all praying she would be out here sprinting. Hollywood, I'm proud of you. No matter what you choose to do, never forget that feeling of being able. Haley Preston is not here tonight, so I'm going to keep it short. Haley is the workhorse of the team. It's not often you have a pitcher that's the toughest kid on the team. It is to no surprise to anyone that this has earned her first team All-District. Aaliyah. Aaliyah is another one of my favorites to yell at. Although she makes me want to pull out all of my hair, there is no one I trust more than her, except when she's face running. A kid who is tough as nails and plays with her entire heart. What more could I ask for? There is no one sitting here today that watches softball and is not inspired by Aaliyah. These are just a few of the reasons she has earned her way to first team All-District. Aaliyah, thank you for teaching me patience and lighting a fire in this team that nothing can put out. Sarah is the most stubborn, independent, humble, gritty, did I say stubborn, kid I have ever met. This kid has impressed me more than I care to admit. She is a true ball player, body on the line every day of practice, doing whatever is asked for the team. Lucky for me, she's only a freshman. Even though she won't shut up most of the time. You cannot be around Sarah and not automatically get better. I've watched Sarah and her dad spend more time at the softball field than they do with their own house. This is the reason she is an all-district second-team outfielder. Sarah, I'm so proud of the season you have had. People notice how hard you work. Bailey. For those of you that do not know, Bailey is in 8th grade. I do not have enough time to thoroughly explain Bailey to all of you. Bailey is one of those kids that God himself blessed with talent. She is so much fun to be around and even more fun to coach. One day at practice, I gave everyone a choice of who they wanted the ball to go, and if it was caught, then we would be done. Without hesitation, Bailey was the first one out of everyone's mouth. A true team favorite. There is never a day where Bailey is not going to give you every single ounce of effort that she has. This is on the short list of reasons that she has earned second team all-district. Bailey, keep doing what you were doing, and we'll be reading about you on Sports Center one day really soon. Emory. Emory's last, and she's going to be embarrassed that she's the last one standing up here, but I'm going to tell you a quick story. There was this dad who owned a restaurant. He put his son to work there and he gave him a shirt. On the back of it read, somebody. The dad told the boy that this was a very important title because when he needed somebody to clean the dishes, somebody to take the trash out, somebody to sweep the floors, and somebody to clean the bathrooms, he wanted his son to be somebody. Nobody would do it, anybody could do it, but somebody would do it. Emory is the epitome of being a somebody, and that is what has earned her this award, the Somebody Award. I'm proud to be her coach. Emory, thank you for teaching me how dedicated people do things. We could all learn a lot from you. To close it out, there are a few very important groups of people I would like to thank. Parents, I know our schedule is crazy, and I never end practice on time. Brittany has left fries in the oven a couple times and was worried her house was going to burn down waiting on me. You have all so selflessly given your time, energy, and effort to this program and to myself. From work days to cleaning to pregame meals to early mornings and late nights, thank you for all you do and doing it without complaint. What you all do is a very thankless job, and if we all knew what you sacrifice daily, it would be a lot less thankless. We appreciate you all more than you know. Thank you for trusting us with your kids. Lastly, my staff, my favorite 3 guys in the whole world. Thank you all for keeping me grounded and challenging me daily. If it were not for you all, I would not have survived. You all back me without hesitation and cover every single one of my mistakes without question. Thank you all for making my life so easy. I cannot express my gratitude for the 3 of you. You all are truly the backbone of this team. I think we are all excited for the future of the Bowling Green softball team. Hey, juniors and sophomores, come up here. We got one more thing for you. Sophomores and juniors. Oh, yeah. Buccanettes please come line up on this side of here? All right, good evening, everyone. I'm filling in tonight to assist Miss Maggie so that Jamie could attend her youngest daughter Kate's basketball game tonight in Brookhaven. This is the first season that Miss Jamie and Miss Maggie have been tasked to lead the Buccanettes. It was a year of tremendous growth and change, and we are all very proud of what this team has been able to accomplish. Traditionally, the Buccanettes have competed in the small group jazz and pom and kick divisions at the MAIS Spirit Competition in Jackson. This year, our coaches decided to mix it up a little bit, and these girls stepped out of their comfort zone to compete in the pom and jazz divisions. This change must have suited them pretty well because they came home state champions in both divisions. This was a tremendous accomplishment against some incredible competition. Bowling Green also has had two young ladies that submitted tryout videos and were named to the MAIS All-Stars. Ella Dorset and Shelby Lee Carney were selected and invited to participate in the MAIS All-Star game. We are all very proud of what these girls have accomplished this season. When I call your name, would you step forward to receive your certificate from Miss Maggie? Sophomore, David E. Collins. Junior, Melanie Pope. Senior, Jordan Dupuy. Senior, Ava Lumpkin. Senior, Eva Murray McNabb. Senior, Reese Williams. Senior, co-captain and MAIS All-Star, Shelby Lee Carney. And last but certainly not least, senior captain, MAIS All-Star, Ella Dorset. We have a big group of seniors, and we're so excited to see what they accomplish in the future endeavors.
Can I get all of the varsity cheerleaders, please? So while they're coming up, for those of you that don't know me, I am Abby Fauntleroy, and this is my second year at Bowling Green. And this year, I was asked to take on one cheer sponsor with no cheer experience. But I am a very organized person, and I have been a sponsor of multiple other cheer teams. I just was not a cheerleader myself. So this season was probably a little different than what my girls are used to, because I relied on my captains and my experienced cheerleaders heavily to critique choreography, to come up with formations and stunts, because that's just not in my realm of knowledge. I am a more business mindset type person, very organized, finances, whatnot. So thank you, girls, for rolling with the punches when I could not answer your questions or come up with any of the things. Second thing I would like to thank is the parents also. Y'all, we could not do this without you. You bring the girls back and forth. You've got hotel rooms in Jackson. You had them at the Coliseum for $725. You told me what I was supposed to be doing because I did not know. So thank you to all of my parents that helped guide me through this. Hopefully next year I will have experienced all of the different things and I'll have more knowledge of what to expect. But I couldn't have done that without y'all. And thank you to Ms. Lori also for helping guide me and guide the team so we could be successful. So we had a season of, I would consider it a successful season. I challenged the girls with hard choreography. I hired multiple college girls to come up with choreography, and they rose to the challenge. Any choreography I threw at them, they learned it, they worked at it. We worked at stunts, we worked on multiple things, and I feel they rose to the challenge. We got 10th out of 15 in our game day at the MIS competition, and we got 4th out of 8th in our traditional routine, which is pretty good. I was very, very pleased with our scores. Next year, I am shooting for first place, though. Okay, are we ready? First up is Chloe Parker. Second is Taylor Cook. Addie Swallow. Eva Taylor. And our juniors, Riley Gazelle. Lorelei Herbert. Michaela Hollywood. Haley Mattern. Sinclair Raccoon. Haley Preston as well. Jaylee Smith. And our seniors, Aubrey Galloway. So the seniors are given a Bible, and in each Bible I focused on a personality strength for them, and I wrote them encouraging words for the future and gave them a Bible verse that I felt fit their personality. So girls, don't forget to read my note to you, please. Kylie Helton. Kate Schilling. And our co-captain, Maddie Ross. Maddie definitely brought the creative side to the team, so any decoration you saw in the gym, she planned and painted. And she helped with other things, scheduling, coming up with different choreography stunts, helping Allie with anything that she threw at her. They were fantastic. And our captain, Allie Stewart. Definitely could not have done the season without Allie. Anything I threw at her, hey, I need this, hey, what do you know about this? Within 24 hours, she had an answer. She created all of the formations for every routine. She came up with all of the stunts for the routines. She was like the coach almost, the coach side of it. If a girl didn't know how to do something, she taught them how to do it. If a strap was struggling, she would try and pinpoint why it was struggling, and I definitely could not have done this season without Allie or Maddie, so thank you girls so much.
First off, I want to thank all of you for being here tonight to recognize these athletes for their accomplishments and their success in the season. Tonight is what it's all about for these girls and these guys, and thank y'all so much for being here tonight. First things first, I want to give thanks, and when it comes to football, there's a lot of people involved. And some people think it's just coaching and all that, but it's not. It takes a whole lot of people to make this go and this be a success. So I want to start off by giving thanks to everybody. And look, if I was to forget somebody, I greatly apologize. Because there's a lot that goes on, but I sat around for a long time and I thought about it. And so I'm going to start by giving thanks. First things first, I'd like to give thanks to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for Him, we would not be here this moment right now. This has always been a dream of mine to be here and to lead this program. It's always been a dream of mine to be a coach here. Love this place, love the school, and I want to thank you first for the opportunity. I want to thank my wife. It takes a lot of commitment from your wife and from your kids at home because as coaches, we spend a lot of time. We're away from a lot of time, especially this season. We'll be honest with you, we're with the boys a lot more than we are our family. So I want to thank my wife and I want to thank my two girls at home. Next, I want to thank the administration. When it comes to football and a program to be successful and do it the right way, it takes an administration to believe in it and trust it and to have your back. And one thing about it, we have a lady who's head of the school that I love going to work for every day. She leads and she lives and breathes and loves this place. She wants football to be successful. She wants to win. It's definitely my goal and our goal to make sure we do that this coming up season. But I can't thank her enough for the support that she gives football and the support that she gives us as a coaching staff and football program in whole. Thank you, Ms. Kim Burris, for that. Ms. Lori Shillings, I thank you for the finances. There's things that you do that people don't know that I appreciate so much. Thank you very much. Ms. Patty Alford, I want to thank you. She led the meals, pre-game meals through camp. She did a great job. She stayed on board. One thing about it, I knew she was not going to disappoint me. I would never have to worry about it on top of other things. I can't thank her enough for that. To the parents also who was there preparing the meals after the games, before the games, thank you so much. Mr. James Magruder for the announcing our games on Friday night. I always thought he did a great job. Gives the children an opportunity to talk on announce our games on Friday, so thank you so much. Cody Wise, a great team for leading on radio. Takes a lot of commitment and time to do that. Thank you so much. Mr. Bud Shillings, Trey McDaniel, David Morrell, Jake Brown for doing our changes on Friday night. I want to say I've never ever had to worry about one time making a phone call. Do we have a change room? Never once. The guys are there. They show up. They do it. Thank you so much. Mr. David Anthony for donating paint. helping me paint the field. There's times we're short-staffed. There's times where we're doing something else, and Coach Matt gets somewhere, and Coach Matt gets somewhere. Coach Hood's working his job on top of trying to help out with us, and we just scatter everywhere. And I might be on that field, and if I don't have a player, he would show up, and he would help paint. He painted field goal posts for us in the end zone, so thank him for that. We should Kelvin McKay during this time for doing our physical therapy on the side, being there with us. I can honestly say, through this year, we had a lot of injuries. And not 1 minute, not 1 second did you ever think about seeing our kids and taking care of them throughout the week. He would stay after the workout just to make sure you see our guys and take care of them. I want to thank him for that. So Todd Boyd, thank you for the stats. When he first started doing this, I handed him an old stat sheet. And look, I'm old school. I'm 34 years old. I'm old school. And I handed him a stat sheet, and he kind of looked at me, kind of grinned like, man, what's this? And this guy comes back after right for our first game, and he's got this thing. BG logo with it. Just decked out, just looking sharp. And I said, man, dude, that's awesome. And he did a great job. I never had to worry about talking to a newspaper guy about the stats, anything like that. He always had a point. Thank you, Todd, for that. I want to thank Scott Thompson, Cody Cooper, Brian O'Brien, Ed Rickenbart, Austin Shillings for the help. We had a big help this year. If you didn't see that on the field, and these guys took it. I knew there's no way I could be in control of that, of getting it on there and off the field. And them guys was there, even though someone could be there every game. There's always somebody there. And the guys just saying that was there to make sure it's taken care of, it was put up, and it was put up and stored away correctly. Thank y'all so much. Mr. Kevin Gillsworth for helping me organize and set up fundraising for skeet shooting and just being there. Being a guy to talk to that's always willing to help you out. I want to thank you so much. Thank you to his kid, Miss Jennifer, also Coach Matt, Coach Peyton, his daddy, his father, and also to the players who was there today to help us work in that successful fundraiser. Thank you so much. Mr. Opie Broadfield, I want to thank you. Once I got with him on something about the kids after summer workouts and celebrate, I'm a big bond guy. I want the kids to bond up and make memories and do things such as that. And he was kind enough to let us use his paradise ranch to go there and let the kids swim and spend a day and just, forget about football for once and just bond with each other. Thank you so much for that. To our dancers and our cheerleaders, thank you for the support, for being there with us throughout the season, the travelers and the pep rallies, and to your sponsors, your coaches that put on the pep rallies and that was there to support these young men throughout the season. Thank you so much. To our managers, who do a lot of work behind the scenes and hardly ever get any credit, but I thank them a lot, and so do these coaches, and that's to Molly Sharp, Grand Roden, Eastern Reston, Knox Island. We also had Daniel Cox and just several here and there. Thank Brody Smith that would show up when they could, and thank them for what they do. To the Huddle Crew, which is Will Dees, Cassie Sell, Brody Brunkfield, and Coach Jared Edwards would lead that. That's so important to us. It takes a lot of work to get it out there and then to get it through to the field and to the huddle for us to go watch film and have it organized. Thank you so much. And then also, I want to thank my coaches. I can't express enough how thankful I am for the coaching staff that we have. There's not a man that's on this staff that does not pour his heart and soul to these kids. At the end of the day, with me, that's the number one goal. It's not X's and O's. It's all about making sure that your boys are treated like they were at home. That they are first. No matter what we do, we build these young men to be young, to build them up, to get ready for the real world, for life. And these young men, these men understand that. And I'm very grateful for these coaches for the work they put in, the heart they have for the game and for your kids. I can't thank them, truly. Finally, to the players, thank you for your commitment to be coached. When times may not seem like it's all right, or you may think that, we may not like it to push you or something, whatever, but I want you to understand that we as coaches, we really thank you for the work you put in on a daily basis. Being coachable, going out there, putting in the work, asking, doing what we ask you to do. Thank you so much for your work. To the parents, to the fans, thank you for your support as well. And I would like to talk a little bit about the season before I ask our players to come up. Obviously, this year wasn't the year that we expected, wasn't the year that we had wished for. We went 1-9 and went to the playoffs and we competed and came up short of that. When you think about this season, you think about adversity, you think about trials, you think about the ups and downs and the injuries, and and people talk about the schedule, and the schedule was not good. It wasn't easy. It was tough. I would tell us what I've seen since I've been around Bowling Green football, probably, I don't know, maybe a long time. But yes, it's a 1-9 season. We had a lot of stuff we went through. But there's also, I like to look at the pros too. When there's bad, we got to find the good, and there was a lot of good that came out of this. The most important was never quitting. When you lose 14 kids to injuries, that season injuries, and you don't have them on your team, they're on crutches and they're on the sideline because it hurt. You expect the worst. You expect people to give up. You expect to get ready for the next sport. You expect them to lay down. But I can stand before you tonight and tell you that was never the case. We had freshmen. We had guys that wasn't starters that showed up to practice, and we had very successful practices. What I've heard and have seen when teams are in this situation is totally different. You have a vet come out there and compete. You have a vet guy come out there and get ready to practice. But these guys have done that. So through adversity, through the season, they fought, they kept fighting, they kept coming to work, they kept believing. And we preach that on a daily basis. Don't ever quit. Because anybody can quit in life. Anybody. But only a strong one can actually overcome adversity. And get over that hump when you're being tested and you're being trialed and those type of things. And they really believed in that, and they kept on fighting and never gave up. So I thank you, young men, for that. Thank you so much. So through this season, it's what we went through and all that. The progress is we learn how to keep playing. We learn how to play the next play. We learn not how to give up. And we learn how to fight for each other. And at the end of the day, we keep doing that, we're going to do good things here at Bowling Green for this football program. At this time, young men, y'all will, I would ask freshmen to come first, sophomore, juniors, and then seniors, if you would line up. So we have a pretty big group right here. So we'll do something a little different. I like to talk about these young men, but I'm telling you, I know that we have the Ole Miss and Miami game playing. I know there's a lot of y'all excited to get back and watch it. So I'm going to do the best I can and get it started. But I do want to talk good about these guys. And so what I'll do first, I'll talk about our freshman group, and then as I get through talking with them, I'll just like to handle the certificates that come through and line up, and then we'll start our 10th graders. This 9th grade group, we go to the first round of playoffs, and let me say this throughout the season. We have 9th graders that start for us. Have to go win, and after they play 4 quarters in the JV game, unexpectedly, and then they have to play a whole second half of the varsity football game. And they're looking at us like, Coach, they didn't work defense as much as we were offense. Maybe so. Now's your time. There's always that saying, when the time is called, the time called, we're ready. And this year, we definitely had a lot of that. We had a lot of that this year. One thing going to it for next year, you cannot say we are inexperienced, because every one of these young men that stands right here tonight played on Friday night this past season. So with this group, we returned only one starter and one guy who played a little while and he's kind of mixed. But really, we only had 2 kids who was actually what you would call a starter coming back into the season. But these ninth graders, I'm going to tell you, they stepped up huge. I love this group, and I'm going to say it. They work hard. They're very coachable. I'm telling you, if you would tell them to run that ball back there, I think they will do it. That's the kind of group they are. They showed it as they finished through the JV season when they beat Park Lane. Something I don't think we've ever done it in football here. And we went on the road. We've done that. We beat a good Brookhaven team, and then we finished out with our last week season. And then we go to the playoffs, and you got guys that may have played a little, and we ended up starting. Okay, we started 5 freshmen on defense. We started 2 on offense, if I'm not mistaken. So you had 7 freshmen who started the playoff game in Tennessee and Rossville. A lot of experience that game, and let me tell you, we was in that game. It was 14-7 right before half. We was battling. Several guys had plays. I know Kane had an interception. Harper had some big plays. Cornerback. Jay, I can go on down the list. Bryce had a touchdown that was called back. But I go on down this ninth grade group. They work extremely hard, very coachable. I love it. You should. I'm telling you, we're watching that way where me and Coach Payton, they just get after it. They get after it. And guys, I'm telling you, keep that going. The sky's the limit for you in the next 3 years of football, and I'm excited to see it. At this time, we start with we did have one 8th grader that had to come up with us and play. And let me tell you, he wasn't afraid. He got in the mix, got some carries, and had a good job. We're going to start off with Bishop McNabb. Going to our 9th graders, the first one is Cooper Casanova. Bryce O'Shaughnessy. George Brewer. Jake O'Brien. Gabe Everett. Corbin Bowles. Brett McGee's not here, but he was hurt through that year, but he never missed much. He was there to help us out with water and the managers of Thank you. Next was Bo Burris. Easton Jones. Jackson Lockhart. Cade McDaniel. Harper Pittman. I want to talk about it, and again, I called the freshman up. We got a lot of guys, and I wanted to talk on their behalf as a whole group. And again, there's so many. Every one of them I have something good I can say about, and I'm kind of getting this going a little bit. But this one freshman we want to talk about here because we actually moved him up in Varsity from the start of the spring and throughout the season. And this young man here, I can tell you he's going to be a heck of a football player for us. He's a freshman, played offensive line. He ended up playing center for us some. He ended up playing guard for us, playing a little bit of defense. He maybe played defense all the time. And at the time, I just said, son, just trust the process. And we need you there on the line to stay right there. But he got hurt right at the end. But he's going to be a big-time player. He's going to be a kid who's going to get a lot of awards throughout his high school career. That's Paxton Brunford. start with our sophomores, and I will call you one by one, and I'd like to speak on them as we do that. First one I start with is Noah Wall. I don't know if he was here, but Noah, I mean, one of those guys who played everything for me, played every snap, never gave us any trouble. Played center. Appreciate everything he did and did for us, and never gave us any trouble. Never. So thank you for that. Next one is Sebastian Sanders. Sebastian Sanders is, we stay on Sebastian. We do. We work him, and he loves that sled. He loves that sled, but he gets a lot of Coach Hood. Coach Hood is a guy that works in the offensive line, and he gets a little bit of Coach Baker in the defensive line. But Sebastian, he's a guy I'm excited for, and we look for good things for him next year. Next one, John Parker Hughes. JP come out this year. It's his first year playing football, and I tell you, I'm excited about it. I love the fact that he came out. You know, I'm one of those. If you've never played, I want you to come out. I want you to play football. I want you to get some love. And at the end of the day, I want you to come back and say, Coach, I like it. I enjoyed it. And look, this kid come out here and never played, and he come to like Coach Dan. I don't know very much. I said, look at me, son. You just go full speed, do the best you can, and each time it's going to get better. And he started getting it. And I'm excited about this young man. I really am. I really am. Next one is Dawson Bell. Dawson Bell, he's another one that I think the last time he's played football was in the 7th grade. Big, tall kid. Matter of fact, just told me the other day, I said, son, I said, expecting big things from you this year. And he's excited about it. He missed it for a while. He came out and he loved it. And the first thing he told me, he said, Coach, he said, I'm really going to take it serious this year. You know, I want to do good. I want to do well. And he definitely has mechanics. He's tall, and I'm excited about him. This next one is Nick Shillings. Nick Shillings, I tell you, look, I think sometimes, Nick, come back, baby. Nick, come back. I think sometimes Nick, he comes to sit in my office with me. I think sometimes he thinks that maybe I stay on him too hard or something. But I tell you, this kid right here, he's got a motor on him. He's got a motor and he ain't afraid. And he's another one. I think if I told Nick right now to take off full speed and go to that ball, I think he'd do it. And I'm excited to see what this kid's future is and see him play for the next 2 years. And Nick this year, because of his success, he was awarded second team all district as a running back. Next one is Leighton Walters. Leighton Walters, this is his second year here at Bowling Green, and believe it or not, this is family to me. And Leighton, I tell you, whenever he came to Bowling Green, I was talking to a coach about him, and he's another one. Like, Coach, he's got a motor, and he said he ain't afraid of nobody. And Coach, whatever you tell him to do, he's going to do it. And that's the kids we like. We like those kids. We like them. Whatever you tell him to cut needs, he's going to cut it. And Leighton this year played both ways. He played offensive guard, he played deep tackle for us, and we're excited for Leighton and what he's going to do the next 2 years. And this year, because of his accomplishments, he was awarded as honorable mention as the offensive lineman. Cash Kinlaw. Cash, he's a 10th grader, and I tell you, he's a big time player for us this year, big time. Offensive line, defensive line. He begs to play tight end, but I don't know if we're ever going to give in on that because I think he's just a really good offensive defensive line. And Coach Hood does too. And I don't think Coach Baker, Coach Mack want to see him on that defensive line, but hopefully not. But Big time player for us here. He had some injuries. He fought through a knee problem for the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and he never quit playing, never quit giving effort. And because of his accomplishment and what he did, he was awarded first team All-District offensive lineman. O'Brien. Bo missed this season. He had a surgery, I believe, on his elbow, and he didn't get to play with us this year. But I will say he was there. He was there for his team. He was there every game, and we're excited. I'm excited to have him back and healthy for his senior year. I think he'll be a big time player for us. Next one is Bryson O'Brien. Bryson was another one I really loved. This is a kid right here that throughout the year, he just gives everything he has. He works hard, he wants to do so well, and the thing about him, like the most, is he wants to see his teammates do well. He fights and he just gives effort after effort. This year, expecting a big season out of him, and unfortunately, due to a couple injuries, the first one was back in the first week of his first game of the season, and put him out for 5 weeks, and he came back and played 2 games, and then he tore his knee. So unfortunately, he missed a lot this season, but it never ever once did he quit being here for his team. Did he miss practice? Did he miss the game? Just a great teammate and a great kid that we're excited for the next couple of years. Cole Cooper. This is another one, that this year was a big time player for us. We needed this young man to step up and make plays. I tell you what, I tell people this all the time. He has really good hands. It's very rare to see a ball get past him. And he came up and played receiver position for us very well this year. There was one game I thought people thought I was playing crazy. I played the defensive tackle against Brooke Cave. And I think at first when I brought it to him, he was like, Coach, wide receiver. Yeah, I get that. And sometimes I do some crazy stuff, but it ended up paying off for us because we was thinking speed, and if he's at that game, and they went and competed, they would play for the Division III state championship in the 4A and lost, and had a very successful season when people didn't think they would. And we had a chance to win that game. We lost 17-16 right there at the end. And a big part of that is because we put speed and we blitzed and we tried different schemes at the front, and he had a great game that night. But Cole Cooper expected big things after his senior year. Nathan Potter. This young man right here, I tell you, look, what a great year he was having. Up until he got injured. And when he got injured, he had to have surgery. Kid was playing, kid makes great cuts in the backfield. I'm telling you, his vision is second to none. He has great vision. Was beginning to be an awesome linebacker for us. And he was playing it well, setting the edge well, was understanding his own reads and his fit reads. And I'm telling you, he was on the verge of having a very, very successful season until that injury. Very excited for this young man for his senior year coming up next year. Let's make him pop. Next one is Marcus Barnett. Marcus came in here this year with us, and believe it or not, this young man has really only played football for just 2 years. And I'm telling you, you look at it and think he's been playing football since probably kindergarten. He came in and look, this young man here is as respectful as it gets, and so much class and a great leader. He's a team player. Made some big time plays for us this year. Coach Hood and Coach Matt really wants him to be in the backfield a lot. They like it being back there in football, and hey, it might be a chance to do that even this year. But big time defensive player for us, and I'm looking for big things to see here, and that's Marcus. And Marcus also received second team all district as a defensive end. Next one is Cole Killingsworth. I go on and on with this. Really good, a lot of stories with this right here. But I tell you what, he came in this year, and again, all these kids sitting over here, I'm being real rich. One or two of them may have played last year, and they got a lot of reps. Other than that, it was just minimal. And this one right here, Cole proved that this year was a big year for him. And we don't have very much depth when it comes to DBs and really depth at all. But I tell you what, he wants to play safety so bad. He swears it down. And coach, I would be the best safety that you probably ever have coached. But the thing is, and I tell him, we got to have him play quarterback. We really only have about 2 and 3, and so he's a big time player this year. I mean, he had 3 interceptions on the season. Played a lot of offense for us. Really was another kid that had a great year this year. And another one that got injured, toward the end. And tell you what, I'm excited to see him see here. He's the one honorable mention as a defensive back. Next one is Kirsten Dion. Kirsten played quarterback for us, plays the safety. I think this is another one that every time I looked at him, he never gave me any questions, but when I put him in defense and they was getting gassed and they was tired, and he looked at me and I tell him, you're coming out, you stay on there. We ain't got many people, so you got to keep playing. But I tell you, he big year for him. It really was. The kid fought. He studies that game. He worked hard all year. At the end of the day, always going to be to work hard all year. And for his accomplishments, he was awarded honorable mention as a quarterback. Next junior is Keelan Jackson. Keelan is new. He came in this year, and I'm pretty sure Keelan probably hasn't played football since was it 8th grade or 7th grade? And we was sitting there, I'll never forget, we was sitting there on the board and we was going over coverages, and he looked at me and he's like, Coach, what is that? I said, well, this is quarters. And but he's also one of those kids that as soon as I showed him on the board, he understood. And he came in this year, another one of those kids who we're excited for next year, for sure. I mean, he's a kid that can go make a play. He works hard, and we're definitely excited for him. For his accomplishments this year, he was awarded first team all district as a defensive back. Our next one is Red Ribbon Ball. It's amazing what in a year, how kids change and from their, from the way they look, or the way they play. This guy here, last year, he was coming in here and look, I don't know if you see it, this kid can run football as far as you can see. I really think he'll have a higher chance to play at the next level by doing that. Because every coach I've ever talked to has already talked about is how far he can run the football. And he just played part of last year for us. And then, this year he comes in and the kid gains about 30 pounds and he's running fast and looking sharp and becomes a big time play for us this year. A guy that we put the football in his hands to make plays and a guy that I trust on defense to make plays. And that he did, and just one of those other guys, good leader, and he works hard, he shows up in the weight room, getting after it, want to get better, want to get faster, and I'm excited for this kid to see him here coming to it, and he was, because of his accomplishment, he was awarded first team all district as a running back. Next one's Landon Boyd. Here's another one right here. I tell you, I got a lot of stories on it. He broke my couch. I just got a new couch, and and it looked really sharp. It was one of those sectional couches, and I mean, everybody was bragging on it. And it wasn't but a couple of days after that, he decided to break it. And then, this is another one right here. I'm just going to be honest with you. I was going to treat him and Brace McBride to some Brewster's lunch one day, and I got to share the story. And I'm waiting at Brooks's, and I called him and said, "Man, where y'all at?" And Coach, we're at the house. I said, "Well, I'm at Brooks's. I'm waiting on you." Well, about 15 minutes rolled by, and I still don't see him. And then I got a call from the school and had to be back. So, first time in my life that I've been turned down by two players when you go buy their lunch, and that was Landon Boyd and Brace McBride. But going back to football, he plays good linebacker for us. I look for him in a big senior year coming into the next year. Another one that battled an injury, missed a few games and really never got over that hump. Once some of our kids did come back, they got the injury, they just never got over it. They just battled through it. They had no choice, But he had a heck of a year, and because of his accomplishment, he was awarded first team all district as a linebacker. I want to go to our seniors. Recognize all these young men is so important, but this is something that these guys will be the last one they get. And I've been here since 5 years, and going next year will be 6. And when I came here, they was in the 8th grade. And I've coached these guys in JV and through their high school career. And, guys, it's obviously the year that you hope for, or the year you want to finish out. But I will leave you with this. You will be the group that started this thing that leads to success in the years to come. Okay? So when we are successful, you will be a big part of that. So you understand that, okay? The next thing is, through the years, they've had a lot of success. Last 2 years, we played for a state championship and won district titles, and these guys were a big part of that and got to experience that success. We were 6 seniors strong this year, and besides really 2, I don't think 2 of them didn't miss a game, but 4 of them was either season injuries or missed a lot because of injuries. It's kind of a story. We've battled through trials this year. But I want to say this: they never, at all of them, that was hurt or anything. Again, you can easily walk away part because it's not going so well. You can go do your own thing, and these guys didn't do that. Never did. They stuck with their brotherhood, they stuck with their family, they stuck with their guys and the teams, and they were there to support them through the way. And that's a win. That's a win. I'm proud of this group. I love this group. I wish you nothing but success as they leave here tonight. And I do want to talk about it a little bit. So the first thing I want to talk about is Trenton Young. Trenton came in here last year, his first year playing football, and I'm not going to lie, I begged him to come out. And this year, his thing's baseball. He loves baseball. And I was on him. I said, "Son, I want you to play." And I don't think you regret playing. Now, not gonna lie, I feel a little bad because he got hurt. But at the end of the day, this young man was loving it. And I'm telling you, come to the coach and started to get it, and you can tell he's loving it to where he was getting a lot of playing time. And honestly, before he got hurt, he's going to be starting on defense for the Wayne game. He got hurt. Christian Leeds, he broke a big run, and on that play is where I think he broke his foot. But man, he has some speed. He can get after it. But I've enjoyed this kid, Trent. I've enjoyed coaching you, man. And I look forward to watching baseball. Wish you nothing but success. My next senior is Red Chip. This is one right here that I'm going to tell you, tough as it gets. He's been in football since all the years he's been here. He is a guy that will work his butt off. He's done it for the last 3 years for our football program. He's a guy that will get out there on the scout team for 2 years and just get after. He made us better. And that kid made us better. I remember sitting coach meeting all the time talking about how that kid makes us better because he gives 100% effort every time. And this year had a lot of good things that I expected from him, and he was all in. He was having a great off season, had a great spring, and man, he deserved it, And we go into ACCS week 1, and there's one of the things that happened. He has injury, tears ACL out for the year, and it bothered us, I know it bothered his family. But we talked, and he's walking and he's doing well, and as we always talk about this, I always bring up, I believe there's a meaning, and things happen for a reason, and there's always a story to tell. We all have a story that, that I think God's blessed us to reach and touch others, and we sit here talk one day, and that's what he said, Coach, I believe I can use this, and I said, absolutely, absolutely. You can use that story to go touch others because of your commitment. And when you face trial, something happened, but guess what? You got back up and you started walking and doing good. And you can use that. And I tell you, man, I've enjoyed it. Red, thank you. And good luck to you in the rest of your journey, buddy. Next thing is Trent Pitt. Oh, Trent. This is another one, He after his 9th grade year, he quit playing football a couple of years, and this is another one that I went after. I was like, Trent, I want you to play football, buddy. Won't you come out? He's like, Coach, I might just do it. And one day in that office, he walked up in there and said, Coach, I'm gonna play football. Man, I was tired. I've always liked this kid. As long as I've been around him and been around his school, he's gave nothing but effort, heart, got after it. And he had a really good year this year at safety for us. He ended up with 3 interceptions on the season, had one that he had against so far, am I correct? And it was taken away. But so he would have ended the season with 4 interceptions. But man, I was so glad this kid came out and played his senior year and look again what a year he had, and I was grateful to get to coach your senior year. And wish the best of luck to you, my friend. And he received honorable mention as a safety. Next senior is Jesse Gaines. Jesse came in here 2 years ago from homeschool, and I'm going to tell you, it's one of those I was talking about a minute while ago. This guy right here, from the moment he walked in to now, looks like a totally different person. It's one of the things, again, you're here, I've not said 1,000 times, injury. It's unfortunate that we had like we did. For the last 2 years, and this kid's gave an effort. I'll never forget Dre Killingsworth coming up to his coach and said, man, I'm telling y'all, man, that's the hardest kid I ever went against on a scout team defense. He gets after it. And he wasn't kidding, because, man, he made us better. From his 10th grade year and his 11th grade year, having a big year, making a lot of plays for us. And another one, he probably thought I was crazy, because I started in the state championship game in his sophomore year as a nose tackle. And I'm going to tell you, he made some plays. He got a lot of pressure, and a lot of these guys understand why I put smaller guys in D-line because of pressure, because of quickness. And look, this is one of the kids again. He's gave everything he had. A kid that I've been thankful to coach for the last 3 years. Been a big-time player for us. And again, this year, he just battled injuries. He battled injuries, could never get healthy. But with that, he was still able to receive honorable mention as a running back, and that's here Jesse Gaines. Next here is Mason Lumpkin. This young man here, one of those again from 9th grade to now, so glad I've had the honor of coaching and getting to know this young man throughout these last 4 years. I'll never forget going to the Lee Road Teddy football game and going to watch a game, and I remember seeing him play an offensive line, and I made an approach to encourage him to come to Bowling Green to play football, because I saw what kind of player he was, what kind of young man he was, and look, since he's been here, he's done nothing but be a hard work coach, give effort, never disrespect. He's just a guy that gets after. He's one of those upstairs boys. You're in a dog fight. That's the one you call right there. He's gonna come after you back. And I've enjoyed coaching the last 4 years, Mason. And best of luck to you. Thank you. Last senior, and after we talked with him, Alex, I would like for you to, a little bit, we'll call you back up, okay? But this last senior, I tell you, he has a nickname, he named himself, and that's Bullseye, Alex Brock. And this young man, I'll never forget. I'll never forget it. I remember his dad and his mom coming up and saying, Coach, I think this kid, well, I know this kid can kick, but he just won't tell me. And I was like, really? And I'll tell you, the boy can kick. He loves to kick. And I'll never forget getting on that field right before they redid it and everything. And I said, Alex, I want to see you kick. All right. And man, I tell you, it took me by surprise. And definitely had succeeded from there and just kept that thing going. Big time player for us these last years. The kid has kicked well over 100 points in field goals. I definitely believe he has an opportunity to go to the next level. He has that chance, and hopefully we can make that happen. He can make it happen. He was chosen as an all-star player. And did very well in this game. And in a little bit, we're going to actually acknowledge him a little bit for something else. But I've been very proud of coaching and us coaching for the last 3 years. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for what you've done. I promise you, I'm going to get this thing to roll. We do have a couple of awards that we're going to do differently. And look, and these awards that's coming up, it's very important, you know, and it's to receive these awards is special. And some of you have been here for a long time. For you younger guys that see these guys get these awards today, or for anybody that's in those bleachers, you know, it's something definitely to work for, and you know, to look up to. And we're going to start off first. I want to start off with this one here first. This young man, again, as I said earlier, was having a heck of a year. I'm telling you from everything. The kid was a leader. He's a worker. He's a playmaker. Like I said before, he was getting after on defense. He was making plays on both sides of the ball. And we lost him. It hurt us. I mean, it really did. It hurt us because he was that special to us. And I really believe he was able to finish out the year. The kid would have been a first-team All-Player because he was doing that well for us. Again, he had an injury. He was still in practice. He was still showing up. He was in 4 games. He was getting fired up and everything. He's getting his teammates pumped up. He's on the sidelines getting pumped up. And there's no doubt in my mind that this kid deserved this reward. And because of that, because of him doing what he did, and after he got hurt, continue being a team player and a team leader, being there for his brothers and his family, we named him the team captain, and that is Nathan Pike. This next award is the Johnny Day Award. This award, it's about who you are on and off the field. It's about, also more who you are off the field. Johnny Day, if you know anything about him, he's a great man and a great guy. And he's still that today, and he was a heck of a player here. And I'm going to tell you, for anybody who can receive this award tonight, cherish it for a lifetime. Again, like I said, these awards coming up, it's something to remember and it's something to take to heart as you take them home and for the rest of your life. I was honored back when I was in high school to get one of these, and it's still one of the best accomplishments I ever had in my life. So this young man to receive this award tonight, he definitely no-brainer when it came to this award, and he's the right guy for this. Because of the fact that when he could have landed on the line and didn't have to come back with his team, or he didn't have to support his team, and could have used his season injury, for something else, and let it get to him so much, and he didn't. He was always there supporting his teammates. He put in the work. He worked hard before his injury happened. And because of his work, he's back on his feet and continue to work and doing well for himself. And it was no brainer this young man deserves this award tonight. And I'm honored to give this award, the Johnny Day Award this year, to Mr. Red Schilling. Next award is the Brandon Boyer Award. Again, it's an award that it goes out to a young man who succeeds on the field and off the field. Hard worker, tough, definitely a team player. Again, when we sat down as coaches and we talked about this, it was a no-brainer. That it would be, according, to Coach Mack again, his next verse, man, he's still great, and we all agree on that. Because it's what this kid is. He's tough, works hard, and I'm excited to see this young man as he continues his senior year. And the Brandon Boyd Award goes this year to Mr. Landon Boyd.
Alex Robb, will you step back down, please, and stand in front of the podium? On December the 11th, Alex Robb was chosen to play in the North Shore All-Star Game. On Monday, December the 15th, he was notified that he would not be allowed to participate and play in this event. While we may not have agreed with this decision, we all agreed that Alex deserved the chance he had worked so hard for. Alex, I reached out to the LFCA director and asked if I could have your jersey that you were to wear, as I wanted to present this to you tonight as a memento for being selected as the North's team's squad kicker. While initially we thought this was a loss for you, it in fact was a loss for them, not getting to see Bullseye Rock do what he loves to do. Congratulations on your selection as a Louisiana North Shore All-Star. Alex. The director also sent you some other merchandise, and I give this to you.
This last award tonight that will be given out. Give me if I could get emotion. This young man, I want to find a little bit about Mr. Drake Spears. I had the great honor to get to coach him throughout his 8th grade year all the way until he graduated. And he is a young man that is no doubt a football coach's dream. And what I mean by that is because he is everything that a coach looks for in a player. He succeeds in the classroom. He succeeds as a leader. He succeeded as a player on the field and as a leader on the field, and also a God-loving young man. And obviously, you know, a young man like him will open the eyes to guys like myself when I was in my 20s. And I will stay here for you today and tell you that that young man opened my eyes when I first got to coaching. The most respectful young man that I can ever imagine, and constantly have a relationship with him. And man, what a player he was, and what a great family that he had and that raised him, and for any young man for the years to come, and I know the last since I've been here, when this award is handed out, you know, different coaches have spoken on behalf of Mr. Drake Spears. And there's no doubt everything that different coaches said is absolutely 100% true. Because the list can go on and on about him and what he did and who he touched in this world at a young age. And for the years to come, whoever receives this award, understand this, understand what it means. It's just a great achievement. Okay? It's more than a plaque. It's more than a jersey you take home and you put in your room. Okay? It's a young man who defined a student athlete. That's what he was. You want to look up student athlete? That young man was him. And what an honor it was to even have the chance to coach him and have a relationship with him and a relationship with his family. And, you know, what an award to receive. And it is an honor to stand here tonight and present this award to a young man that I think is a great kid. He said the other day he led devotion to an whole school. And, you know, and again, unfortunately, this young man had a lot of injuries. He didn't get to do what he could do on the field because of the injuries preventing him. But what he did do, he showed a lot of heart. He showed a lot of heart, and, you know, and that is 100% something Drake Spears did all the time. And tonight, we'll present this award and this jersey in honor of Drake Spears to Mr. Grayson O'Brien. Thank you, Mr. Lee and Mr. Keith. Thank you. As we conclude, I want to give a last thanks, and again, when it comes to football and any sport, football is a big sport. It takes so many people doing things and to get in, to buy in, and again, it takes a lot more than me and these coaches and players to get things done. And as I mentioned earlier with the names, and again, I want to thank Miss Courtney Shillings for everything that she does, and also Mr. Michael's pictures. Thank y'all so much on the pictures you captured for these boys, for their memories, for these parents. It means so much to us. So thank you so much. And again, thank y'all for being here tonight again to be here on behalf of these young men and these young women for their accomplishments. We thank y'all so much. Thank you.